Hey guys, I'm Meliabella and welcome to Meliabella Knits. This is where I'm going to try to cross-post my Instagram stories, but unfortunately it didn't work this week, so I'm just going to quickly show you some of the things that I purchased at Rhinebeck, which is New York Sheep and Wool Festival, which was this past weekend, October 21st and 22nd, 2017. I go with my husband and usually a big group of my friends, but this year a bunch of them weren't able to go due to health reasons. So it's a very small group of us. We rent cabins and then drive into Rhinebeck for the weekend and attend the Sheep and Wool Festival. We did also this year go to Indie Untangled and Needles Up, which I'll show you what I purchased there. I did find them a little bit overwhelming. There was a lot of interest, so a lot of people, which is great for vendors. It was just a little bit overwhelming for me as a person, so I don't think that I'll be going back to those in the future, at least not right away for next year. On Friday evening, the first place that we went to was Needles Up, and I went and stood in line with my friend Hannah and my husband Sean, and we waited our turn. And inside I purchased a project bag from Amy Beth, who's the Fat Squirrel, and you can find her at thefatsquirrel.com, and her shop is at fatsquirrelfibers.bigcartel.com. And this is one of her sweater size bags, and it runs at about $47. They're a square bottom, which is great. They do have interfacing with a light colored cotton inside, so it's easy to see your fabric, and it holds a ton. She also does these really great fobs, which you could take off and use for your keys if you wanted to, but I really like having it for my project so I can carry it around. And it actually matches my bicycle. My bicycle is this color, so I had to have it, plus autumn is my favorite season. So she had me hook, line, and sinker. So I purchased that. The only other thing that I purchased at Needles Up was from the Sucra Miniatures booth. I purchased this Progress Keeper, which was $12, and I think it's supposed to be like a sheep hot chocolate. I don't consume sugar, so it's a sheep latte for me, which anything having to do with coffee makes me super happy. So I purchased that there. The other booths were lovely. It just was a little bit cramped in there, so I headed out. The next place that we went to was over to the Best Western for Indie Untangled. My friend Shannon had a pre-order there and she wasn't able to go to Rhinebeck, so we actually went over there to get her pre-order and then stood in line just to kind of get a taste of what Needles Up was like, Indie Untangled was like, and it was insane. There were a lot of people really excited to get in there, and so we did go in, but we made it pretty quick. I went to one booth, Hugh Loco, which I'm glad I had the chance to go to. I loved every single thing in her booth. I ended up getting Spun Sock, which is a superwash merino cashmere nylon in the Firefly colorway, which is super speckly and a beautiful aqua, because that's my very favorite color. And then I got a merino DK for a test knit for myself. I knit a pattern, this hat here somewhere. It's the Firewatch hat, and I designed it for my husband. But I'm still kind of playing with some of the decreases on the crown just to make it a little bit more intuitive, so I'm going to knit it again. So this is the pattern. It's not been blocked yet, so please excuse the poofiness. I'm going to knit it in this colorway for myself, and I got a button from the Vintage Button Lady at Rhinebeck in the upper level of the barn. She's also at Maryland Sheep and Wool if you ever get to go there. And it matches the red in the skein, so I'm going to put that on the brim for me. That was all that I bought at those two events. It was just too much for me. I'm hoping they find a bigger venue or extend the hours, maybe do more than one day, I don't know. But I'm not going to be able to go again if it's that crowded. I can't handle the anxiety that comes with large crowds, so it just wasn't for me in that way. But all the booths looked lovely, I just couldn't get into them. The next day we went to Rhinebeck. We went on the early side. We like to get there before the gate opens, but not so early that we're first and second in line. We've done that before, and that's just not necessary for us. I don't want to stand there for an hour. And we buy our tickets on site. We go in where the new entrance is, which is the Red Barn entrance, which is lovely. And our first stop is always Miss Babs. And reason for that is that my husband and I have a system. He stands in line, I go and get my yarn. We check out very quickly because the line moves wonderfully fast. She has 3 registers. And then we go and get him a breakfast sandwich. So it works out great. So I purchased 3 skeins of Yowza in the topaz colorway, which it's kind of hard to see in this lighting. I apologize, the sun's starting to set. It's 3 different colors of green: an olivey green, a forest green, and then kind of an emerald green. And Yowza is a light worsted, and so depending on what size needle you use, it can be almost considered a DK. And so I am going to use it as a DK in the Branches and Buds sweater, which will be next year's Rhinebeck sweater for Saturday, I believe. That's my plan. And then I got a skein of Snow Owl from Primrose on Sunday to do the branches in my Branches and Buds. So I'm super excited to knit that. Unfortunately, I can't cast on for that right away. I do have to finish a sweater I have on the needles. And then I have a test knit that I'm trying to check yardage for Kirsten Kapoor, who's a really good friend. I'm really excited to knit that. And I picked up this skein. Oh gosh, I can't remember which booth it was. They had some shepherd's wool, and I needed a cream color to do the test knit for September House, which is a new Kirsten Kapoor pattern. It's coming out in December. And I have an oatmeal color for the body, or a gray color for the body, and then it's almost like a saffron color to do the yoke, but I also have a really, really light aqua, so I have to decide which of those 2 colors or mix them to do the yoke. And I'm actually not going to do the color work portion here along the hem. That's my widest part, and so I know that that will accentuate in not a flattering way, so I'm just going to do the color work up here. And you can actually see that pattern in similar colors on Kirsten Kapoor's Through the Loops Instagram profile. She wore the sweater on Saturday. So definite, and you can see it in mine too, because I took a picture with her on Saturday, if you wanted to see what that looks like. And she said the pattern should be ready in December for people to purchase. Other things that I purchased in Primrose Yarns, I got my very first skein of a single ply fingering weight. I've never knit with this type of base before. It's never really drawn me in, but this skein from Primrose is called Angry Ocean, and it's in the Adelaide base, which is 100% superwash. I'm going to design a cowl out of this. I like the idea of it being superwash, so I can wash it in the machine if I need to, because I tend to get like makeup or sweat and stuff in the winter when I'm shoveling on things, and so I like it to be easily washable. But this colorway reminded me of where we go on summer vacation. The ocean there is really, really beautiful, and so I picked up this skein. Ooh, that's pretty good. And so Primrose Yarns is actually out of York, Pennsylvania, and you can find them at primroseyarnco.com. And she was super sweet. And in her booth, I got a second Sucra Sucra miniature Progress Keeper. It's right there. It's like a pumpkin latte in a travel cup. Anything coffee and you've got me. No joke. So I had to get one of those. I also picked up from Miss Babs her Yowza colorway in the Rhinebeck colorway. She does a colorway for each festival that she does. And I also got it in fingering weight, one of her fingering weights called Hot Shot, for a pair of socks. And you'll notice there is similarities between the skeins, but they are also super different. And that's kind of the cool part about her dyeing. Each skein looks a little bit different. So I got those. This Yowza skein is going to become another brickless. I knit one like 5 years ago or so, and I love it, but this has more of the tonal colors that I wear on a regular basis, and this will become socks. What else? Sean picks out a skein of Socks That Rock each year from the Fold, and this is the color he chose this year. It's in lightweight, and it's called Heckly Speckly. It's so pretty. He has large feet. It's like size 12 men's. And he likes a long cuff like I do, so it's a lot of knitting, but he always picks really great yarn, so I don't mind. Isn't that pretty? I kind of wish I had gotten a couple skeins to do a sweater. I would have had to alternate skeins, but wouldn't that have been pretty? And I already talked about that. Into the World, Chris and James on Sunday at Rhinebeck, they have a sale area. It's a whole rack of sale yarn, and so I hit it up this year. And Sunday at Rhinebeck was so quiet. So quiet. I've never seen it so quiet. So if you want to go to Rhinebeck, try Sunday. Saturday can be a little overwhelming, but Sunday was definitely super quiet. So at Into the World, I got a skein in their Pukaku sock. And this is the Walla Walla colorway, which is my favorite Doctor Who colorway that they do. And this is in their Resist dyed method, which is new in the last year. I'm really excited to make socks out of those. And then I got a skein of their Delhi DK variegated base, and this has cashmere, superwash merino, and nylon, and so Sean says he wants another hat. and this is in the Captain Tight Pants colorway, which I'm a huge Firefly fan. But Sean also plays a video game that has Nathaniel Fallon in the voices. What's the name of the game?
Destiny.
Destiny. I knew that.
He's Cade 6.
He's Cade 6 in Destiny. And so I thought it would be fun to get him this colorway to have a hat. We bought a house this year, and we're going to have a lot of snow removal, so he needs a couple hats, not just one hat. I also got my favorite cherry blue needles. This was from flyingfibers.com. They had a really cute booth. It was very like country kitchen, chic, super cute booth. If you ever get a chance to check them out, please do. My friend Lori gave me a few things that were gifts, but I won't show those. I did stop in and have Clara Parks sign my book. She did run out of copies of her book, so I always bring my own copies with me just in case, because I don't want to miss out. She signed it for me, and it's always a treat to chat with her. I'm not sure, but I think that's everything. I'm going to try and upload this to my YouTube channel. I hope that it works, and I'll check in with you soon. Thanks.